Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola, and I want to welcome a large group, probably our largest group we've had on the show so far. Starting from my left is actually Marie online. Hello, Marie.
Hi.
Marie's from the Trekker's Delight podcast. We've had her on another show before. We talked, like 20 minutes on Demolition Man over the 2 hours?
Right, and then like 3 hours on everything else, yeah.
Exactly. So we have Marie here today again, and we have Mila, as always.
Hello.
And Larry's here.
Hey.
And Bruno.
Hi.
And our data center, Dr. Jones Quinn.
Hello.
All right, we're ready to rock. Today we are talking all things Spaceballs by Mel Brooks. Oh, it's already started. Larry's already going. We've already started to lose Larry.
No, I'm good.
You sure? You okay?
I'm awesome. Let's roll.
Was it the data center line?
It was that whole thing. The whole introduction.
Quinn's he's got a long monogram. It's like his eye chart.
I got to throw some commas in there too.
Exactly. So, all right. So we're talking Spaceballs, obviously by Mel Brooks, a Mel Brooks classic. Came out in 1987. Oddly enough, PG, which is weird.
Is it really?
It is a PG movie. I thought it would be at least PG-13 with a lot of the kind of...
Right, it's even 1987.
Go to the theaters, watch it with the kids.
85.
87, yeah. They may
I don't
know so. Because it's got a lot of innuendos and sexual jokes and things like that.
And they're not subtle too.
They're not subtle. Mel Brooks is not known for his subtlety.
I think if it came out today, it would definitely be something.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly.
It'd be like RR.
I mean, even just the salute, even their salutes when they're saluting each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That alone would give you a PG-13 rating.
Right. Or let's talk about those lightsabers, guys. Like where those are coming from.
Exactly. He's right, Marie. The lightsabers coming out of their schlongs. You know what I mean?
I see y'all Schwartz. It's as big as mine.
The Schwartz sabers.
Well, they didn't come out of their
yeah, but that's when they held them.
That's just how it came out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've heard that before.
They held them down there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the criteria would be to get a PG-13 rating, but that they must have.
How is that not it?
Someone got paid off or something.
Yeah, Mel Brooks just pulled a little weight on that one. Absolutely.
And or nobody watched it. They were just like, okay, like it's a Star Wars parody. We're just going to keep going.
It's got to be PG because everybody needs to see this. That's what it was. Everybody has to see this. Did you
remember what the Ghostbusters rating was?
Ghostbusters?
No.
That was probably PG.
Yeah, that was
because that's the same kind of deal. Because I distinctly remember watching it when I was a kid, and everyone whoosh over my head, and then going back years later, and then picking up a phone and being like, "Hey, Mom, you did not tell me about the sex."
Yes, it could
be.
She's like, "You were 9." No.
Maybe innuendo is not going to be good enough.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, was there any?
Because she just said it went right over her head, which makes sense. As a kid, you don't know that.
Right.
Yeah. I did catch a couple F-bombs, I think, though. Wouldn't that?
Did you?
With that, there's it's a criteria, how many?
Oh, yeah. I was like,
I think one will earn you a PG-13.
Yeah.
And then any more than that, you're rated up.
Right. Well,
I think you can drop one.
I thought they said at least 2, I think.
Oh, yeah, no. Ghostbusters 1984 apparently was PG.
I think it's 1.
Yeah.
But we should look it up.
Yeah, it was probably 1, but I could have sworn there was a second one.
Ghostbusters PG, it came out same year as PG-13.
Okay, so what about what's the criteria for getting a PG versus PG? We're spending a lot of time on the rating. We haven't even got a lot of time on the rating. We are 4 minutes in on rating. All right, so
we're going to ask the Google machine so we can make it move this on.
That's what we have data for. So our stars, right? We have Bill Pullman plays Lone Star, John Candy as Barf, Rick Moranis is Dark Helmet, right?
Bill Pullman was their third choice behind.
He's always their third choice.
Yeah, he was. He was their third choice.
Somebody wakes up and is like, I want Bill Pullman in my movie.
No.
Nobody does that on purpose.
No, absolutely not.
I'm sure he's a lovely man. But
Bill Pullman. Clearly Bill Pullman's free.
Behind Tom Hanks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Would have been
wait. They thought Tom Hanks was going to do this movie?
Yeah.
Did I hear that right?
At the time, I could see Tom Hanks, right? He's coming off of Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies.
Okay, that's fair.
When did he do Big?
I feel like
Big
that was after.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah,
That was
Big
in
and
that
Splash.
80s
That was
era.
I feel like Big was early 90s.
Yeah, I thought that was 90s.
Are you looking that up? Yeah, check it out because he's already on the ratings thing. We still got data on the ratings thing. He's hunting that down.
All right.
But yeah, so you have Daphne Zuniga as Princess Vespa, right? Dick Van Patten as King Roland. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, right? Guest stars Michael Winslow, who's making a comeback. Joan Rivers. Yeah, I know, right?
I like him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so many. It's one of those classic Mel Brooks movies where they just dig out all the actors, right? Including Jim J. Bullock, right? And Prince Valium.
Hilarious.
It's Princess Valium. Sorry, Prince. It's a hair.
Mm-hmm.
It is probably one of the most quotable Mel Brooks movies.
Every other line is
like every
quotable.
30 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, definitely. And just from the beginning, right? Let's kind of go through the movie as from the beginning to end.
Just the ship flying.
Right, the forever ship that never
The
ends.
opening
The opening ship, yeah.
I timed it about a minute and a half.
About a minute and a half of that ship passing through the screen.
Love
right?
it. Oh my God, I love
With
that.
the ending, wasn't the bumper sticker says I break for asteroids?
Yeah.
Nobody.
We break for nobody.
Yep.
That's right, we break for nobody.
What if you name nobody?
Well, then they break for
Then
you,
they're
I
gonna break for you. They're
suppose.
gonna stand right there, wait, let you pass. And you're good to go.
Go around.
Parents are calling you for naming you nobody.
So starting with the opening scene with the ship, then we get introduced to our heroes and Pizza the Hut.
So obviously,
I really feel like Heroes might actually be a bit of a stretch here.
He actually got George Lucas's blessing to do
yes, he did. But Data, what did you say? That he was not allowed to what?
He was not allowed to merchandise.
Right. So Mel Brooks wasn't allowed to merchandise. So that gives you the scene with yogurt about merchandising, right? And they really haven't. Like till this day, there still isn't really anything they can do. Like they've never changed that. They've never gone back and said,
As a parody, you can make parodies and merchandise, but he opted not to because he was a fan of the Star Wars films.
Right. Well, if you want,
I mean, it also sort of depends on how the agreement was written.
Yeah.
So if there was actually an agreement, then it's entirely possible that he waived his rights to merchandising into perpetuity. That is something you can do.
Yeah. So he obviously did that because to this day they still haven't done anything with it. Although I do have a Spaceballs T-shirt.
Okay. Spaceballs, the T-shirt.
Yeah, and I actually made a mask. So when the pandemic hit and everybody's like, doing masks, companies, you could just like have custom masks made. So I have the Spaceballs, the face mask.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's still in my car actually. I still have that. I took it out. I was at a restaurant. And the lady was just like, "Oh my God, that's the best mask ever." It was pretty cool. I actually enjoyed that.
It's kind of an odd thing to pull out when you're a random point in your life.
Yeah. Well, nobody's seen it. Like nobody's gonna see that mask anywhere. If you were just like, "Holy shit, is that a Spaceballs mask?"
Yeah, but then that leads to the, oh my God. It's like, how many people remember Spaceballs?
More than you'd think. Like I see, like every show I go to, and I go to a lot of them, I see at least one Spaceballs cosplay. Like one barf at least shows up.
A lot of barf. And do they do a lot of the helmets, like the basically?
Interestingly enough, no. I see that more at like Dragon Con and maybe San Diego, just because those are bigger shows and you get like some industry folks, but like mostly just barf.
I respect that.
Yeah, me too.
I respect a good barf cosplay.
I mean, and generally there's also some, like if you're going to do a dark helmet, like you also, there tends to be some overlap with the 501st because they still have their vacuformers, which is what you need to have in order to produce that massive helmet of compensation.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can imagine the effort that goes into that.
Like, let's say if you make that helmet, how do you walk around with a helmet that big?
You have a minder. Is really, unless you're an asshole, in which case we all hate you.
Yeah.
Because inevitably you are like, there needs to be like a convention like primer where you go through and you're like, if you're wearing wings, this is how you wear them without stabbing other people.
Yeah.
If you have a sword, this is how you avoid stabbing other people. If you have dark helmet, this is how you avoid running into and or stabbing other people. You might see a theme here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have somebody kind of walk around with
It's
you.
a lot of stabbing. We get it.
Trying to minimize the amount of stabbing happening at Comic-Cons.
Stabby type of venue. Yeah.
You'd think that would be a clear sort of like life rule. Don't stab. No. Mm-mm.
No, it's not. And like anywhere you go, like people just like, I'll do what I want. I'm gonna walk on because there's some crazy ass costumes. Like that is not anywhere near the largest, most obnoxious costume you've ever seen at a con. I've seen some, people in like full on Hulkbuster armor.
Yeah.
On the stilts.
I've seen Voltron. I've seen full actual sized 40K Space Marines. Now that dude was effing amazing. Still have no idea how he managed to get the pneumatics in there. I've seen somebody actually cosplayed the Batmobile, the Schumacher Batmobile with those ribs.
Nobody should cosplay Schumacher Batmobile or the Tumbler. So be quiet over there.
You know what? That's it. I'm gonna cosplay as the Tumbler. No one's gonna stop me. No one on this earth's gonna stop me.
Nobody's gonna recognize you either.
You'll be surprised.
I don't think.
I mean, so basically, you're gonna start saving up now for the amount of war blood that would required.
I don't think anybody should cosplay Schumacher anything.
No, absolutely not.
Bad.
Definitely not. Absolutely
You're right.
not.
I'm sorry. I broke the rule. Those are movies that didn't happen. Like,
They did not exist.
Schumacher who? What?
Exactly. No, well, I mean, you can say that they were created. You can even say that you watched them, but they all sucked so much.
Yeah,
that
the two of them. And it got worse from the first one he did to the second one he did with. But we're way off Spaceballs.
Way off.
What else is new?
That only took 11 minutes. That's congratulations. We actually took longer than we usually take to get off topic.
I know,
That was pretty good. Way to go, everybody.
Well, we went from Spaceballs to Star Wars for like 2 seconds. Then we ended up in Batman. And
Star Wars is kind of like in there with Spaceballs. Like I'm gonna count that as on topic.
That's definitely on topic because it is a parody of the movie of the Star Wars movies. So talk to me. What is we'll go around the room and we'll go. Give me your favorite parts of this movie. Give me one of your favorite part of this movie. That's why I love talking to people to find out what their favorite part is. Who wants to go first? A little show of hands.
I'll go.
Larry's going first.
Because I still to this day quote it. It's where he tells us to go comb the sands.
Yes.
I'm Russ.
We're taking this too literally.
Russ, guys.
We called the corn to death, so we're combing it. The best part is he's talking into the microphone, talking to Colonel, and then shouts at the people in the field.
The whole thing cracks me up so much.
Megaphone right at the guy next to him, right in his face, and then shouts.
And then he shouts out to the guys.
You guys found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir.
And he gets to the two guys. He's like, "Man, we ain't found shit."
With the
Wait, have you seen the follow-on video that Tim Russ did about that?
No.
Yeah, no. So he actually did a video about this where he was sort of laughing at it. He's just like, I went from combing the sands to being a Vulcan, and I'm angry about them both.
That's right. He's angry about them both. Yeah, he that way it's one of those things where you didn't know that was him until you see him later, and then somebody points it out.
Oh,
yeah, that's Tuvok, guys.
Yeah, way back before he was Tuvok. Yeah,
shocker that I would know that.
No. Again, Trekker's delight. So. That's your favorite, and it's something. Again, we talked about this offline. You can't get away with that.
Yeah, today. You can't do that today.
I don't know that you can pull that off today.
Dude, combing the sand. You couldn't make his comment when we ain't seen shit. In the way he made it. Right?
Yeah,
with the way he said it, with the way he made it,
you'd be shut down real fast. Yeah. There'd definitely be some backlash on that. All right, who's going next? Favorite parts? Bruno?
I'll go. I really liked, and I like the when they're watching the movie, right? When will then be now?
Yeah, soon.
And
oh God!
It was a total "Who's on first? Reenactment, essentially, and it was well done. It was really clever. I really liked it.
It's all the bubbling train.
Think about Brooks, though, right? His humor has this incredible depth.
Everybody knows I always get coffee when I watch the
I always drink coffee when I watch Radar. We know that, right? Yes, of course we do, sir.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorite parts was Ludicrous Speed.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Bitch took mine. Damn it.
It's like, should we go into light speed, sir? Mine. It's like, no, jump to Ludicrous Speed. Never goes, Ludicrous Speed.
We've never gone that fast. What's
and then they blow,
Sanders? Chicken?
And then they blow right past them.
Right. Sir, you better buckle up. Buckle this.
Buckle this.
And then flies all the way to the back and then all the way to the front.
That's right.
Good thing you were wearing your helmet, sir.
Yeah. What should we do now? Are we stopped? We're stopped, sir. All right. Smoking got him, and he just falls over. Giant helmet, he just falls forward. We're stopped, sir. That's great. Stop this thing. My brains are going into my feet. We can't stop. We're going to slow down first. Bullshit. I order you. Stop. Quinn, what about you?
See, all of mine have been taken.
Yeah, I know.
All mine have been taken.
I know. Mila took mine too. But now you got to choose another one. Put you on the spot.
So many.
Well, dead air is always wonderful on a podcast, so we'll come back to you, Marie.
Your brother, okay, so mine has already been taken because it was in fact Combing the Sands because that shit's fun.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
Right. But also, my brother's roommate's sister's daughter. I mean, I don't remember the line, but like, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
nothing.
Which is what I'm about to make you.
Right. It's just like Rick Moranis is just so perfect in this.
Yes, shit.
He's just so perfect. I mean, like.
I'm gonna put my knee up on you, and then we'll split. We'll split apart.
Right. Is this one of his last roles?
Perfect, right? When he first walks in at the beginning, he opens the shield, the helmet, and he's like, I can't breathe in this thing.
Yeah, and he's like got the big glasses. Can't breathe in this thing.
Oh my god, yeah.
He just shuts it every once in a while for dramatic effect.
Everything about the way he delivered it was fantastic.
Yeah. At the end, when he's just like after the radar, and he shuts it like Lone Star. Just does it for dramatic effect to get the voice going.
Or just drinking the hot coffee as he's spitting it out.
Eventually, he's sipping it through. He's sipping it through the grate in his mask. Yep. You can hear it like bubbling through the grate. You can hear it slurping through. One of my favorite parts is when he's in his room and he's playing with the dolls with all the people from the movie. Oh, your helmet's so big. Sir, he's like, knock next time. Did you say anything? I didn't see anything, sir. I didn't see you play with your dolls again, sir. Good. Just a second look, like, son of a bitch, you did. One of the things I love is that Mel Brooks appears in his movies. And he's always so, on point. You know what I mean? As President Scrooge.
Yeah.
Right, when he gets transported to the
I was about to say that was one of my
room.
That was one of my favorite scenes too. If my first one was taken, that was going to be my next one.
Oh, Snotty beamed me over. I don't know about that beaming thing. Is it safe? Yeah, Snotty beamed me twice last night. He's like, what the hell? And we worked on Star Trek.
Right.
What happened? His head's on backwards. Why did somebody tell me my ass is so big?
Yeah, he looks down.
Beam me back.
He scratches his ass. Forget it. This time I'll walk. Next room over.
That was one of the best scenes.
One of the other ones too is one of the other scenes I really like is when they're going to take the oxygen from the planet.
Yep.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the ship turns into the maid.
Mega Maid. Mega Maid. She's turned from suck to blow.
And you're like, wait a minute! I didn't realize I was jumping from a Star Wars parody to an anime parody. Like, where are we going?
And that's every movie he does. It's got it doesn't just stick on the core of what they're Men in Tights did the same thing.
Yeah,
they all do.
Yeah. I also love that reference to like Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
When afterwards, the head and the arm fall into the planet, and the ape people are riding it on horses, right. And they go,
Spaceballs. Shit, there goes the planet.
Awesome. It's so fabulous just how deep his comedy goes. I mean, we've already had the reference to earlier, like the Who's on First gag, right? I mean, he's clearly in dialogue with all of this really amazing, funny shit that's just kind of floating around, and yet nobody can put it together quite like Mel Brooks does.
Oh yeah, it's on fire the whole time.
Yeah,
it's great.
It is literally 90 minutes or however long it is of just straight comedy, and it's and he hits on almost every joke.
Yeah, I mean, there's not.
There aren't too many that fall flat.
Yeah.
96 minutes, including credits.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for that.
1 hour.
He's
and
on
36,
the iPad. We keep him on the iPad every once in a while.
1 hour and 36 minutes of just.
I've got one job on this podcast. It's a stupid one, but I'm gonna do it.
Gotcha. It's
we definitely have to do Galaxy Quest next time.
Yes,
I swear to God. And if I'm not there for it, we are no longer friends.
We'll get you on Galaxy Quest.
We are doing Galaxy Quest.
We'll do Galaxy Quest. I'll have to just watch it. It's been forever. I think I probably saw it like when it came out. That was probably the last time I ever saw it. I mean, it's the Galaxy Quest like that. I know we're off topic, and I don't give a shit. But that had like stars in it again that you don't actually like. Rainn Wilson's
Rickman
in it.
Rainn Wilson
from The Office.
This is Tony Shalhoub pre-Monk.
Sigourney Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember that movie. I never watched it because I was like, that looks kind of.
No. It's amazing. It is amazing.
It's amazing.
Alan Rickman
it is.
Alan Rickman is in it. Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Mila almost watched that.
I was almost trying to convince me to watch it once, and I was like, let's watch something else. They did a poor job.
They did.
They were like, it's great, trust me. And I'm like, you're not selling me that much. Yeah. I'm saying it's great.
Fun fact, the entire TMG cast went to go see it, and they were all like prepared to hate the movie, and they walk out like in stitches because this is literally their lives and has been for the last 7 years.
Yeah, that's in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great.
This episode was poorly written.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely well done.
I like a good parody, so.
I mean, that's what we're talking about today.
I mean, right. I mean, Spaceballs is probably the parody of parodies, and it was done by Mel Brooks, which is that's we were talking about, that's his shtick. That's what he does.
Yeah,
and
so
everything that he does.
Other things, so we were talking about that when you see him do other movies that aren't
a parody.
That's kind of a parody.
That's his stuff.
It's a comedy.
I'm literally trying to think of a movie that wasn't necessarily a parody, like History of the World Part 2, maybe, or Part 1.
That was awesome.
Not necessarily a parody, but kind of still that kind of.
Yeah,
comedy, you know what I mean, like taking weird situations. But didn't you say he did Toy Story 4, right? Or was he just an actor in that one?
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, who did that one? I'm trying to get to his directing credits. If only I had a data person. Only had somebody on
I've never actually seen any of the Toy Stories.
Really?
Really?
I watched the first 3. I haven't seen the new one, and I don't really remember them that well.
So I wasn't
a huge fan of them.
2 young kids, and they wanted to see like all of them. So by the time we got to the 4th one, I was like, this is gonna be terrible, and it was actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, they're good movies. I don't know. I actually watched them when I was a kid, so I don't really remember
movies in a sequel, series that is good. I think you run out of story, but they did a really good job of it.
Yeah.
So my movies are 3.5. So we still haven't gotten to the full-length movie stage of which is fantastic. But I will tell you, I am so tired of Octonauts. Like I can't even like I hear it and I just start to cringe. But at least it's not Caillou.
We're on Baby Shark and Coco Melons.
No Caillou.
Oh my God, no.
How have you not found me hanging from the rafters yet? I don't know.
No. Coco Melon is banned because F that noise.
Yeah,
F that noise.
Tried, but
I look at Coco Melon and I'm like, that looks like the most obnoxious show I've ever seen.
And those kids' heads are huge.
It is not as bad as Caillou, though. Not as bad.
There are other shows.
You're the worst little bitch you've ever encountered.
Sorry, go ahead.
What was that, Marie?
Oh, no, it's not as bad. Like, Coco Melon is not as bad as Caillou, though. Like, Caillou is the whiniest.
I watched Caillou as a kid.
Caillou can die in a fire.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thankfully, I have not even seen that yet.
No,
I watched it a lot.
Yeah.
And I only remember the intro of like Caillou.
Yeah, I will.
Caillou.
Stop stroking my comma with your finger, please.
Mike, that's fine. I have the mic muting. So,
you can try to stop me.
So, I will burn anybody who introduces my kid to that. You know what I mean? Because that's how it happened to Coco Melon. Somebody else introduced our kid to that, and now it's all
and
about
look
it.
What you've done.
Yeah, look what you did. You don't have to live here. The hell. Thank you for that.
That's like if anybody gets my kids drums, I told them, I said, you'll see them on my front lawn burning.
That's right. Come by. Bonfire with your drum set in there.
Yeah, you can come see where that money went.
That's right.
Oh my God. Like this past Christmas, my stepmother apparently hates me and expressed her hatred by giving the boys both one of those dancing mats that's like in Big, it's the piano.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then the other thing that that she bought them was the world's loudest whack-a-mole mat. And I'm sitting here like,
nice.
I don't know what I did to you. I really don't. But nothing I could have done to you is worth this.
So
I just had one of those Bang and Dance
did that kind of
ones.
stuff. My mother did that kind of stuff. We're like, guess what's staying at Nana's house when he visits here? It's all staying here. So at Christmas time, there's like a little drum thing, some noise making stuff. Like, guess what's staying here for when because he goes there like 2 to 3 days a week, and they babysit for him. So guess what? That's staying here. We took home the quiet shit to our house, and the noisy shit stayed at her house. That's your problem now.
We live on the other side of the country. There is no staying at like dumping this crap at Bobchi's house. There's none of that.
You just
so they were smart.
Yeah, they're like, they can't bring it back.
I've taken to dismantling toys and just snipping the wires that go to the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Still play with the floor.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
There are no batteries. That batteries just don't exist anymore. Batteries apparently went the way of
no, it's not working anymore.
I tried that. My kids are old enough to know that batteries are a thing. So
3.5, guys. 3.5 is beautiful.
Well,
I just lied.
3 and a 6, but they know about batteries. So unfortunately, they're like, look, it needs new batteries. And I've tried putting like old ones in there, and they're like, no, the new ones are in this other box. I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
You're like,
no.
oh, silly
Put 'em in
me.
backwards.
So now at night when they're asleep, I'll open up that toy and just snip the speaker wires.
Okay, so
and we're good.
so that begs the question: do they know how the batteries go in, or can you put them in backwards?
They do. I try to teach them and whatever they
Yeah.
do.
Oh, I would've liked to know.
I guess that is an important
The
skill to
diagram
have,
is
putting
basically a
batteries
loose
in things.
suggestion.
the nerve.
Oh, yeah, no. Like my husband left.
I know,
He's a
right?
moron, and apparently left his bomb disposal kit out, and they got into like the tiny little screwdriver things. We haven't found all of them, and so they've actually figured out how to take all the battery packs out, and are now like, I put it back. I'm like,
Your little helmets on.
Good job.
Kids just going bomb disposal. Dad's tired. Dad's tired. You do it.
right. Hurt Locker in the Brown Hill household, take 2.
Oh boy. All right. So we are way off of Spaceballs at this point.
Oh yeah.
I know, like 25 minutes, and we're all just like, parenting is the worst.
Under parenting.
Wait, we're doing
It happened in like
right.
maybe a sentence, and then we went way off topic.
off topic.
Way the hell off topic.
All right. So we'll
Oh,
bring it
it
back
was from
again.
Toy Story. Yeah, that's how it
Sorry,
connected.
what
Toy
was it?
Story 4.
Right, but what?
So this is Marco's fault, guys. Marco.
That's totally my fault.
Oh yeah, no,
that's
I'll pin it on him anytime I can.
Yeah, she does.
From what I was just looking at, it's Mel Brooks does the voice in Toy
Oh,
Stories.
okay.
It's my fault.
And then there's that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but Mel
Thank
Brooks,
you.
he did a lot of the voices, like in a. So I was just looking up. He did that for the Toy Stories. He did voices for Hotel Transylvania.
Okay,
mentioned
all
it.
right, because I was very confused.
His
I
name
was like,
shows up.
what is
yeah.
this? Looking at his like the Wikipedia that just shows up.
because on his IMDb,
No,
there's
Wikipedia.
No, not
Wiki.
Wikipedia. Not
We got to Wikipedia
now.
earlier today.
Not yet.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing, by the way.
I
You
am-
didn't?
Oh yeah,
That's like one of the
for all
biggest
Star Wars
Wikipedia
stuff.
things.
I did not know.
Wookie.
Oh, yeah, Wikipedia, Memory Alpha, like a whole bunch of them.
I did not know that.
TARDIS archives.
When you look
Doctor
up
Who
Mel
stuff.
Brooks on IMDb, I can't speak.
You're doing great,
Take your
Larry.
time.
Awesome.
Take your time, Larry.
First day, learning.
Let's do the new lips.
I was gonna leave that one
Maybe
alone.
1 second.
That sounds something bad.
Sounded funny that I mentioned.
That sounds something bad. Like, well done. That's journalism school for you right there.
Right? 465 titles. So I was like, yeah, we got to figure something out. Like, how do I look up what Mel Brooks did? And right away, it's like Toy Story 4. He was Melephant Brooks. Did the
Melephant
voice.
Brooks. Awesome.
No way.
No.
So there's
Ah,
that.
clever.
Very clever.
nice.
Maleficent.
Maleficent.
This could go on for a while. Let's bring it back to Spaceballs. Thanks, Swin.
Baseballs. So
Thanks, Dr.
so
Jones.
what's the combination?
One,
That was amazing.
2, 3,
That's the stupidest
4,
combination I've ever heard in my
5.
life. That's the kind of idiot has on his luggage. Hello, and change the combination on my
He
luggage.
comes back in. What's that? He goes, my God, that's the combination of mileage. Remind me. And they're like, oh.
And then the way they look at each other, like,
He didn't
Well,
want to say that.
Okay.
the best is the setup for that. He's like, one, 2, 2, 2.
Two, three,
And they
four.
drag it out. It's like, oh my. And that's another thing. It's the long drag that they do for these comedic setups.
Right, like the opening ship.
Yeah.
Right. It's like just
You just think like this
absolute-
can't go on
Timing,
longer.
right? Because it's not too long. Because,
No.
because
Yeah.
that's a delicate balance, y'all. Like, I mean, it can,
Timing is everything.
yeah, like, I mean, you can have too long of like spaceship porn. Motion picture, I'm looking at you.
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, in a minute, like any time now.
Yeah.
Let's wrap
And
this
then,
up.
and then it gets to the end. You're like, oh, that was. You're right, though. But it's the perfect timing,
Yes.
of the length, and it's like it gets you. You laugh. You're like, holy shit, that was hilarious.
If you have like
Long
one or
enough
two
to
of-
make the
And then
joke.
you're already moving on. And then you're already moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
exactly.
you have that time to say this can't go on longer, and it does. But if you have to keep saying that in your head, like this can't go on any longer, eventually that's when it starts to turn. Really more.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's you're either watching one of the prequels or possibly that terrible CGI like Final Fantasy movie.
Oh yeah, I saw that like half of once. Like it just
It's
yeah.
a Final Fantasy movie?
Oh yeah.
There's
I
probably a
want
reason
to
I haven't
watch
heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I remember distinctly. I saw this in the theater with my mother, and there's this long death sequence, and this dude's like hanging onto the side of like this cavern or whatever, and he's going to plunge to his death. We all know he's going to plunge to his death, and we're all like, okay. My mother wakes up. She's been snoring. She wakes up, and I hear this. Oh God, y'all, just die. And I'm in college, and I'm just like, oh God, we're gonna get like
Thrown
run
out.
out of the theater, and then all of a sudden, like applause starts at the back and then just kind of like keeps working forward. Like my mom gets up and does like a bow. She's like, "You're welcome."
She made the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
She made that movie better.
God.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
die already.
So my advice is don't watch that movie. Like,
Noted for the
arousing review.
future. Thank you.
Mom's review is a 0 mics on that one. So the sequences are the little small snapshots on this movie where you get, so much of what we know from other stuff, right? And that, the different little parts that they do, the dark helmet stuff, when he changes costumes in the desert and he's wearing the desert,
the desert version,
the desert helmet, right?
Giant
the safari
hat
helmet,
still.
things like that. We get back, we see the Yoda parody of yogurt, little thing like that.
yeah.
What was your favorite on those? I always like to see what's people's favorite part of this. Another part of the movie now we're talking about some of the best part of the parodies.
I'm dying.
I like when
Larry, you go first again. All right, fine.
all right, fine. I'm sorry. Well, nobody else wanted to say anything. I was trying to
I was
cover.
thinking because there's so many. There's so many.
All right, I shall.
I mean, the answer is what is my favorite? The answer is yes, like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Don't duck out like that.
What's
but
my
what it's
favorite
like? It's
parody
like-
of the Star Wars that they did?
Which part of the
I think the whole
I
movie.
mean, I think your Schwartz is as long as
The whole
mine.
thing's
Like,
a
it's never not going to be funny.
I think the problem is, like, you ever go see a good comedian and you laugh the whole time? It's like 1 hour of solidly funny jokes.
Yeah.
And you walk out of it, you can't remember one. Right? Because, like, they're all so funny.
It just gets you going
You
the whole
just,
time.
you just keep going the whole time. And then you're like, oh my God, that whole thing was hilarious. I don't remember one of those jokes. You might remember one, but, like, you couldn't remember more than, like, it's like 2 or 3. Like, this movie for me is kind of like that, where, like, you're laughing all the time. You're like, oh my God, that was a great reference. Or like, that joke was hilarious. Oh my God. You laugh the whole time. And then you look back, you're like, you want me to pick out one?
All right, so let's pick on the weak
There
points.
was.
Right?
Oh, okay.
So we picked out the whole movie's great, but are there any weak points to the movie?
Ooh.
Dead air.
That's also unfair because, there's so much fun. And Spaceballs also has this tremendous rewatchability because, I personally, I've seen this a zillion and a half times, but I find something new every time.
There are
Yeah,
there's
there's
a lot of
yeah.
little
Hidden
hidden
ones.
gems in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when I'm thinking weak points, I honestly can't think of
You're
anything.
absolutely serious. You know?
If you're really, really
Really
sure about
sure,
this, yeah. So something I liked. Well, I can't think of something I can't like at the moment. Something I thought was cool was John Hurt's character way at the end. With the chestburster.
Yes.
Where he's like, not again.
Not
And then it comes out and goes, hello, my baby.
Hello, my
honey.
honey.
Hello, my
Nice to
right
meet
side.
And he goes, what did he have?
That's what I ordered. Check, please.
She's moving on the soup.
It was the special, right?
Or was
Yes.
a great moment where it just
Take a soup.
veers into a totally different franchise, and you're just like, wait a minute, what? Why are we did we just get a xenomorph?
Yes, we did.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
With the same guy, too. Same guy who got the chest person.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the cameos in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about the cast too, right? It's like, it had this person and that person. This person. And we've talked about it, from, like how we talk about the Star Wars. Somebody tells you, hey, I have a 2-minute part for you in Star Wars. You're going to say yes. Mel Brooks comes up to goes, hey, I have a part in a movie for you. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't care what it is. You don't care how long you're on
care
it
if
for.
it's 2
You
minutes,
don't care. It's Mel Brooks and you say yes. And I think that was a way that he got a lot of these guys to, a lot of these people to get onto this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, he's had so many movies under his belt.
Right.
By 87.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
he is Mel Brooks at this point. Yeah,
I think a weakness.
I feel like he was Mel Brooks before that, though. Like I do.
What's that?
I feel like he was Mel Brooks before.
But
yeah.
he is full on Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
So you have all that clout to bring in anybody you want.
Oh,
You just drop that phone
It's
call
well
and they're
established
coming.
by that point.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's
And
no,
and he also has enough clout at this point to be self-referential as well.
Right.
Which is something that you can't always carry off. Like, I mean, how many references to a black sheriff could we possibly get?
right. Exactly. Exactly.
I think one of the things where this could fall flat for future generations, right? Rewatching it, if they don't get all the the pop culture references
Right.
that were at that time.
Yeah, sometimes that just gets
pervasive,
lost.
right? A lot of the like the xenomorph popping out of it. They don't know. They may not have seen aliens at that point. They may not know who the actor was that played. Right?
Yes.
There's a lot of that stuff.
I'll tell you right now, I have failed as a mother if like my kids get to the point of watching Spaceballs and they have no idea what the xenomorph is.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're probably not too far from something like that, right? Xenomorph maybe not a good example, but there are plenty of things in that movie that would be,
and that just naturally happens too. Like stuff like pop culture changes all the time. So with time, it's only bound to happen that there's references that are missed by a newer generation like that.
I mean, forget about the pop culture.
There's enough good comedy behind the film that you're not going to have to worry about that. For example, so George Lucas is the one who changed the face of filmmaking because he started the merchandising push, right? Like that was really what he did brilliantly.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to get that because this is what we grew up with, right? Like we know that you get a big movie push, then you're going to get like the action figures, the swag, all of that. And so that's completely normal to us, but it's still funny because of the way Brooks structures the gag throughout the movie, which is kind of what I think he does really, really well, because he's got a great eye for ways that even if you don't get the reference, even if you don't understand that he is mocking the shit out of George Lucas,
right?
It's still funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what, and to kind of piggyback what you guys were saying is that's what makes it so great is the mockingness of the references of Mel Brooks doing everything in his power and everything in his will just to mock, like you said, their shit out of Star Wars. Yeah. And we all get it.
Yeah.
And it's just such a good movie.
And nothing is safe. Like nothing is safe with them.
Nothing
is safe. And nothing is sacred. Just I'm going to tear the shit out of everything.
Nope. Man.
I think it's just a police car or something. Somebody's coming. Wow. Quinn's ride's here.
Coming for you.
They're coming for you, buddy. I told you were here. I dropped a quarter. It's not a dime anymore. It's a quarter.
Again.
Oh no. Not again. Way to bring it around, Quinn. Way to bring it back around. I like that.
The dink dinks I thought were hilarious.
Oh my god, the dink dinks.
We did that in one of the episodes. Dink, dink. We did, I think, for Boba Fett. Dink,
yeah.
Dink,
dink. I'm going to need you to say dink dinks again because
dink dinks.
The dink dinks.
Dink dink. It was great.
Ding.
Yeah.
It just
ding ding.
Did I wake up and go to Disneyland?
Ding ding.
It's everything about that.
Why do we get to Disneyland?
It's like how do you like Bruno was saying, it's when you go to the comedian, you laugh your ass off for a straight hour, you try to remember, you're like, shit, I remember like a little bit of that joke, a little bit of that. Same thing with Spaceballs, like you were saying, like there's so many good hits.
Then I come around and I can quote the whole movie from beginning to end, which is a little scary.
Can confirm.
Yes.
He does it all the time.
Do that. We wasted a lot of class time. Like, shit, he's off on a quote rant.
The 3 minutes that we spent with Michael Winslow at the radar was great.
Beeps, creeps, and sweeps.
Yeah, it's like, what are they?
And the reefs. And the sweeps.
So good.
That was amazing.
The raspberry.
Yeah.
Who dared to give me the raspberry?
They jammed the radar.
Fantastic play.
Oh my god.
Good play.
Yeah.
You just see the giant jar of jam.
It comes swearing right at the radar detector.
And go.
Smash. Did you notice that? Like when it is a little, not like a film flub, but if you look at the top of the jar, it doesn't say jam until it hits it and turns. And all of a sudden the word jam appears. But like you can see part of the top of the jar, but it's weird. I've known that since the first time. I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't say jam. Something happened in whatever they did. When it hits it and turns, the word jam like really appears on it, but it doesn't see that when it's flying at it. Yeah,
but I somehow like to think I think that's better though. Yeah. Like I'm not sure that it's a flub. I think it might actually be on purpose because it's just
I think that'd be great if it was on purpose. Yeah, it was so good. I like the hot air machine. Take only what you need to survive. My hot air machine, it's my industrial tank hair dryer, and I can't live without it. Right? You want the hot air machine? You carry it. But yet,
just what we needed, a Druish princess.
But yet they take the suitcase with them after they drop the hair dryer out. They
still
take
take
it with them.
Yeah.
Like, see, I could carry 3 or 4 of these.
Also, it's something that I don't think you can get away with. I don't think you can get away with the Jewish princess thing anymore.
No.
Oh no, no
You
way.
definitely could not. There's definitely a bunch of that now that wouldn't hold up. That just wouldn't get. It just wouldn't get the last.
Even though it's Mel Brooks and he's Jewish and
Wouldn't
he plays
get that
on that kind of
translation.
stuff all the
Right,
time.
but I just don't see that. I don't see that going over.
He leans pretty heavy into his being Jewish and to hold Jewish
stereotypes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
He's pretty hard into it.
He's
but
the
like,
same thing in Men in Tights.
Men in Tights.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rabbi Tuckman.
Rabbi Tuckman and the Moyle and the.
But
Right.
yeah. Could you do that now? Right? Like that's
Yeah, I don't think so.
probably hard, much
Oh,
harder
no.
to pull that off.
It would be much harder to
And
pull
going
it
into
off.
that, just like, we're going to nip the tip. And they're like, any questions? And Blinken's like, yo!
No.
Puts his hand down, like, no, you don't have a question on this. Blinken, I'm over here. The subtlety of the ladder. He's holding, shit.
Lincoln, what are you doing up there? I'm guessing.
I'm guessing no one's coming. Oh, crap. All right. Fantastic. Let's keep going. All right. Anybody else want to jump in? Give me some.
Try to think.
I love the ship that Lone Star flies in.
Winnebago.
The Winnebago with wings.
We have not talked about the
with
Winnebago with
I
wings.
love Uranus in the back.
Yeah.
Great bumper.
I think that's a phenomenal ship.
I love the bumper stickers in this.
Yeah.
Like, I just got to mention that.
Yep.
I actually have one
The
question.
designs, right? Like, I mean, just how the designs actually like support every shot in the movie. Because I mean, it's great to say that Mel Brooks is funny because he is. He's hilarious, but like he's also a remarkably good filmmaker.
Mm.
Yeah, every shot that you see, it has a reason. It's
There's efficiency, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no Chekhov's gun. Everything he does, it pays off somewhere.
Yeah,
somehow.
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
more the word that I'm looking for.
It's wonderful.
I have a question. I've always had this question. Pizza the Hut
Ate himself to
ate
death.
himself to death. Now,
And now I have a weird craving for pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
yeah,
like,
right.
I feel
Because you know it is lunchtime here, so
I mean,
Willpower, I guess.
How does
Some DoorDash.
How did he eat himself, or how did it take so long for him to eat himself?
that was a lot of Pizza the Hut, my friend.
Be overthinking this.
You might be over
I think you have more questions than there are possible answers.
Right? No, I definitely know and feel.
I'm a little worried that this is where your hang up is.
But no, like, what's weird about me is like,
I mean, you know,
you know
I'm
what
just
else
saying
Larry
there are
doing it?
people out there that might be able to help you with this fixation.
No, I listen. I'm
I
well aware of
love
the fact
Pizza
that I'm
Hut
definitely
slug.
overthinking it, but I've always thought that, like in my head, as a when I first watched
You're
it
like,
as
how
a
do you
younger,
get in
I'm
that
like,
situation?
I mean, you had a giant space vacuum, and the where Pizza the Hut ate himself is what's
Well, he got trapped in his
Yes.
limo.
Well,
Space,
yeah, I mean,
trapped in his limo.
made
That's where you
vacuum
draw the line.
ship.
well,
That's
it's
where
Yeah, like as you do, really. Like all of this is just
How-
as
how
you
did
do.
There in the escape
Like,
pods and
how?
stuff like
Like-
that. And
did he bite his tongue first?
No,
No,
you
you
start
go
from the
in-
bottom,
you-
work up.
of course. What?
I mean, he's never like an Ouroboros.
What about-
He started with his little pizza feet, his little
Does he have
pepperoni
pizza
feet.
Doesn't even have
worked
pizza
way
feet
up.
though. We
I
only
don't
see
think
his
he has-
neck up.
Well, his tail. He was a slug, kind of like Jabba. You know what I mean?
I think
Or
you
just pizza
kinda
size,
like
pizza shaped. He's
look down
he's
and
pizza
Ouroboros,
shaped.
guys.
Start from the
He
point.
starts with the tail and works his way up.
We're gonna fucking work crust backwards. What kind of Satanist are you?
Maybe
with
just
a
a big
crust.
pile of cheese with pepperoni on him. I didn't
Good
see any
Lord.
crust.
You never
Maybe
know.
it's his like skeleton or something. If he
The
has
crust is
one.
a skeleton.
Maybe it's his
Weird. He's got
a
innards.
stuffed
I don't
crust.
know.
Sounds dirtier than I meant it.
small factoid. The guy that originally played Pizza the Hut said he did not want to get into the Hut costume again ever, and he never
It
did.
looked really gross.
It
too.
looked really
because
gross.
it was
Really
like
gross.
oozing and dripping,
Yeah.
and it like part of it fell into the like
Into
so the
his
pizza-
mouth.
Yeah.
The pepperoni fell into the open mouth, which I think fell into the actor's mouth.
Super
Because
disgusting.
at some point you could see the actor's mouth within the giant mouth, like you could kind of see where
Yeah.
his chin was. It was almost like playing.
And all of a sudden, there goes my craving for pizza. Thanks, Marco.
I thought it was
Thanks for
really
the
cool
DoorDash.
the way they did it. I thought it was so gross and so well done.
Honestly, I'd have been okay without Pizza the Hut in there.
Cancel
Oh
the
yeah,
DoorDash.
but
or
Just
some other
to have
implementation.
pizza.
I thought it was
you
very
know what?
disgusting.
I think Pizza the Hut added to it.
I do too.
A little amount,
You're
but
delicious,
it added.
boss.
See, that was weird too. Like, so wait a minute.
He's eating him.
His eating his boss. That just what?
Was that guy supposed to be Max Headroom?
That's what I was wondering.
Right?
Oh my
Was it?
god!
Yeah, I think so.
He
It
might
had
have
to have
been. I
been,
think
right?
so.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
very much
No,
me.
Yeah.
Something that you wouldn't necessarily you would miss, but it doesn't really matter. It adds, but it doesn't
It still
matter.
works.
Which goes
Yeah.
back to my earlier point.
Yeah, it totally works without even knowing that
It
that's what it
does.
is.
It definitely does. It's an odd choice for a
I mean, he's
guy right
almost
next to
like
him.
robotic. You know, the way they painted him up and made chisel out his face.
Yeah.
He was almost like a robot. You know what I mean? So he was kind of like Jabba had his robots like C-3PO, his translators and things like that.
Yeah, but they had other robots in there that actually looked like robots. Where this guy was the dude with
like
the
Dot
face
Matrix.
Painted.
Yeah,
Dot Matrix was great.
The Virgin Alarm.
Joan Rivers.
Great.
She was amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my
She
god.
just did the voice though.
Yeah.
She did the voice. Yeah. She was somebody else in the costume at that
That's
point.
usually how that goes.
Also, Dot Matrix, another one of those things.
Yeah, people would not understand what that means now.
Yeah. What does that even?
No.
Dot what?
Exactly. Nobody knows.
The movie Matrix? That movie sucked.
Oh, let's not get there again. It was a dumpster fire of an episode.
Oh my God.
Sucked.
Oh yeah.
That again. Yeah. When she leaves, when she's going, then there goes Princess Vespa going right past the altar, down the ramp, and out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Virgin Alarm? How about that?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Virgin Alarm. Yeah.
Virgin
That
Alarm.
was the
It's set to go off before you do.
Yeah,
It's probably going to go off before you do.
Those are the things that probably wouldn't make it into the new cut, right? Like, could you remake that movie?
Not in a PG. Not in a PG.
Yeah,
If it
not
was
in
a
PG, but I think you could still get away with the Virgin Alarm.
Yeah, if
You
it's
could definitely get away with
PG-13
that.
or R,
absolutely
yes.
think you can make.
Yeah.
You could.
I think it depends on where you are, though. Like, I really do.
Movies like that, but
Because I think there are some markets where that would just not go over well. I'm South. I'm looking at you. I'm sorry. There's childhood trauma stuck in my throat.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that they can remake this. You could still remake it with a PG. Maybe PG-13, because some of the things that they have
But
out there now.
if they did it again, I want to see a PG-13 version.
Right, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna be that much of a difference between the PG and the PG-13. Maybe a couple of
I'd like to
customers
see
here
an
and there.
R-rated version.
I
But that's
think
just
some
me.
of,
Oh my
I
God.
think some of the brilliance of this original movie is that you could remake probably most
Most
of
of it. There's definitely a
without
couple things.
losing
Oh, yeah.
much.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And that's impressive.
that's the
considering
great
it's
thing
made in
about
the
this
80s.
movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually thought about that before I came in because I knew
We
that
did
this
our
was
Big
going to
Trouble
come
in
up.
China episode. That shit dang it.
That
doesn't
you're
right.
gonna have to change the whole movie
It's just one
if
giant
you want to
yeah.
bring that
movie.
back.
right. Like, I mean, you might also have to have an end to your film for that one.
Yeah.
Nah.
You know, I knew that comment was going to come up. Like, can you remake this movie in today? I absolutely think that you can. Definitely just have to change a couple things. But
Yeah.
I mean, does it hold up well? Yeah, I think it does actually.
And that's kind of what I was getting at, right? Earlier. That's kind of what I was getting at earlier, because like he's such a good filmmaker and he's so good at controlling his script that he's basically pulling stuff out that just lasts.
You're absolutely right. Right.
Side note, I got to say this. Ronnie Graham plays the minister in
Yeah.
the movie.
He was really good.
Oh my
He's
God, that was cool.
I love
Do you?
Yeah, the short version. Here's what I love. His IMDb page picture is him in
Is
the
it?
costume.
Yeah.
God.
Like, that's how you know him. So like, that's just lean into it.
So
I put a picture
don't even bother.
on IMDb. Let's just use that one. That's where everybody knows me. So let's just go with it. Yeah. Do you? Yeah, good. You're married. Kiss her.
Yeah. You know what?
You get married? No.
Which is a gag he recycles in Men in Tights.
That's right.
Oh. You had said a weak point in this movie. I get the storyline. The Prince Valium.
I know. It was okay. It was brief.
yeah.
It wasn't.
So I think that's why I'm easily. Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah.
like I guess that's a reason why I was okay to overlook it because there was so much.
But you got to get a
in
Jim J.
that.
Bullock in there somehow.
Right. So I mean,
Just tired of sitting in that top square.
Oh my god!
All right. Who else knows
Yeah,
what?
speaking of things no one's going to understand later.
us. We know. Get him out of that top. So that's great.
Just past my time. Sorry.
So I mean, like
Hollywood Squares,
yeah.
baby.
So other than that, like
All
that
up
little
in here.
character,
So when time he gets lonely and just
that was
take a
be like the
vacation,
only weak
leave.
point. That and the Lone Star, Brave Star. No, Brave Star's a cartoon.
Yeah, Brave Star is a cartoon. Speaking of races,
Yeah, right. We talked about that actually in our 80s one.
Yep.
Lone Star, like when he was
oh
showing.
my god, I was the only one who remembered Brave Star.
Oh no!
Oh no, yeah.
I actually used to really like that
Yeah, so
show.
did I.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
When he's teaching him how to use the Schwartz, by lifting the yogurt statue.
Yes.
And I was like, yes,
Giant
and then
statue
it
himself.
lands on Barb's
It
foot,
becomes flat and
and it
large.
becomes super big and super flat.
Like one of those cartoon pancake things.
Yeah. like that for me, like I laughed and I was like, ugh. For me, that gag lasted just a tad bit long.
It was a cheap sight gag, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, but
It was
again,
too
I mean,
easy.
And I think that the reason why I was not bothered by it, but it's like there's so many other great things that happened, and it's like you get that little cheese factor. It's like kind of killed it for me just a little bit.
That's kind of part of his.
I know.
It's gotta have some cheese in there somewhere.
Spaceballs, the flames. This one.
These are folks that cut their teeth on, the road, like the Coyote and Roadrunner comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Acme Anvil thing.
Yes.
So I really see that as being more like a reference to just a communal frame of humor, if you will.
Yeah. It worked in there, briefly. And but I don't know that they did that many. That
something to
like
support what she just said is that when the Xenomorph comes out, he does the dancing frog.
Dancing frog,
Right.
Which nobody would know unless you watched Roadrunner or Bugs Bunny.
Yep.
The whole WB, right?
Yep. That was Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Who had the frog in the box.
Yep.
No.
Yes.
Was it like in the original ones? Because in the episode I remember was the construction working guy with the mustache and the blue hat and the blue suit, and he was trying to take it around as an act, and he had it in the box, and
he wouldn't come out and do it on command.
At the end of the day, like he was just sitting in the park with the fucking frog sitting next to me, like he wanted to choke the goddamn life out of it.
I remember that too. Now that you saw, I remember that, but I also remember Porky Pig.
I thought it was a later edition.
Yeah, maybe, and it's very possible they did it a couple of times. Obviously, they recycled.
It is the frog, so
they redid. They recycled the.
I think the frog actually took on a life of its own, if you will. It was initially going to be like a throwaway gag, and then people are like, "But that shit's funny, so let's keep going with it."
Yeah,
because it was the WB mascot for a long time.
Yes, it was.
That's right.
Yep.
So I remember that, and I still feel like that. Like my kid could be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like he's
doing
really funny shit, and he's doing really funny stuff. And I go to film it to send to my mother, and he's just like.
He just sits there.
Like, son of a bitch. He was just doing funny. He does all the time. Like, he was like, we were tickling, we were laughing. Honey, watch him do this stuff. And he's just like, not doing it.
No.
Not doing it.
So eventually, you got to get good at pulling the camera out and not letting them know that. And
yes, because I'm not.
And you start shooting it from like down near your hip, so they're not really focusing on the camera.
He's like fine, like he's honed in on where my phone is at all times.
Yeah, you got to.
As soon as I pull it, he wants it. So I was doing the funny shit he was doing. Yeah, I got to get better at that.
I think a lot of kids do that, actually.
Yeah,
I've caught that, like friends of mine and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've got one that wants the camera, and then I've got one that mugs for it. Like William, the smaller one, is all about like he's gonna steal that, like he's gonna hunt it down and steal it. But Matthew, on the other hand, is like, take a picture. I'm gonna keep doing the crazy thing, and it's just like. I'm like, it's something if it's not natural, Matthew. Like, I'm going to need it to be in the moment.
That's right. This looks rehearsed. It looks forced. Can't do it. Dom DeLuise played Pizza the Hut.
Really? So I'm just going through the credits.
I don't think he did.
It says right here on the IMDb.
He might have voiced it.
He might have voiced it. I don't think it was him in the suit.
The actor.
No, because I'm not. By 1987, I don't think Dom DeLuise could have gotten into.
No, he did the voice.
Yeah, definitely not into.
He did the voice. Yeah, he was the voice actor. I'm sorry, I should have clarified that. He was definitely not in the suit.
But that's a strange choice too, right? Because Pizza the Hut's voice was like, blah, 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 blah. Like, why did you pay a big name guy to do that?
Yeah, who's going to
Marlon Brando?
More high pitched.
What?
Could have been anyone.
I wonder if it was just like a hookup. Like Mel Brooks was just like, hey.
Yeah, Dom might have been like, I want to get in that film.
He's in Men in Tights. He's in a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
gotta have him somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. He's got that, like Mel Brooks is that type of director. He's got his stable of like actors he likes to pull into multiple movies.
Right.
He's early Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Tim Burton's same thing, right? He's got
He
always uses
Johnny Depp,
Johnny
Helena
Bonham Carter.
There was a reason for that.
He's always on Danny Elfman to do the music.
Right. So here's a side note as I'm going through the IMDb's. So one of the people that do the voice of the Dinks is Corey Burton. Why do I know this name? Because he does the voice for Cad Bane as well.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah.
Well, you can hear saying dink, dink, dink.
Yeah.
You can definitely
That's amazing.
Dink, dink.
Deep, rumbly, dink, dink.
Ding, 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 ding.
Very
Ding,
rough.
ding. Ding, 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 ding.
Listen, I already went there. Rewind. We're rewinding here.
I'm sorry, but here's another messed up
Or
part.
it's comedic repetition, Marco. It's a thing.
Duh.
Oh,
They
they're all over me again. Can you believe?
They have.
Sorry.
Jesus. So they have. Oh, where'd it go?
A little mask reference for you.
Well, they have actors that play the dinks.
Yeah.
But they have other actors to voice the dinks.
Sure.
Why can't you just have the same actors voice the voice?
Because that's just
they're doing a lot
because you got to do it in a studio.
You mean like at the time they can record behind the mask and then moving? You're not going to hear it properly.
Yeah,
so
no.
you have to
do it
voice over
separately.
afterwards.
Yep.
I mean, but even in 1987, they ADR.
Steal weed.
Wait a minute.
So even in 1987, they could have brought them back for ADR, but part of the reason he doesn't do that is because he's making a reference. Like this, actually, it makes a reference to David Prowse.
Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. Because David Prowse went through the entire film believing that you would hear his voice, and then apparently he almost walked out of the screening because he was so pissed that Lucas had gone around him and cast James Earl Jones to be the voice of Vader.
I thought that was done after the fact, though, where after the first few recordings, he was like, "This voice isn't going to work." And then
that may be true, but at no point did he ever tell David Prowse that was going to happen.
Yeah,
problem, right? Yeah,
that's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
He definitely recorded his voice on set, and you needed somebody to play off of anyway. So,
like she said, I think with all intention, he was supposed to be the voice of.
Yeah, it just sounded
and it didn't sound right, and so then he decided, all right, I'm going to.
Even if he ADR'd him afterwards, because obviously coming through the mask, and they had to.
Right, I mean,
they should have told him. That's not.
Yeah,
it's the fact that they didn't tell him anything.
That guy got shit on left, right, and center because they didn't even tell him he wasn't going to be the face. When in Jedi, when they took his mask off, he thought he was going to be the guy. Meanwhile, he was filming shit, and in another studio, they were filming that scene. They didn't know that, and he was pissed when he found out. They're like, "Oh yeah, no, we already shot that with what's his name? Who took the actual mask off?"
Right. He also, just one of the list of things I want in my life, David Prowse pissed at me is not one of them.
No, he's a giant dude. Yeah, he looked pissed off. Even his natural resting face looked like if he wasn't smiling, he could murder your whole family.
Maybe that's what
resting murder face. This is what you've given us now. Resting murder face.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
That man has a resting murderous face. Let's just leave it alone.
You're gonna love this one.
What
we were talking about yesterday?
Are you two having a side conversation?
Wilhelm scream happened in this movie.
I know. I saw it. Yep, it happened once. I was talking.
Yes.
Yeah, me and Quinn yesterday were talking about the Wilhelm scream.
Why? Because it's
and
in
the
our
fact
game?
that it's. Well, yes, because of that, and it's
I wasn't even here, and I know. This
I'm like, it's in every movie. It is in every movie.
We all know what that is. I know Marie knows what that Wilhelm scream. So that that you hear, they have
that
it in
really
Star
generic
Wars.
scream.
It's a generic scream. The scream they did. It was back from an old Western, if I remember correctly, and that's where it came. So if you listen to movies, you hear that and I'll play it for you later after the show because in our video game that we did, the Time Rescue game, I purposely put it in there in the game that I made. So the scene where like the pirate's there and the little Kraken comes up and it's holding on to the guy from the first game. He's like being held by and shaken by the Kraken. Every time that comes up, it's the Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, and Wilhelm scream in the game.
I was unaware that was an actual thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Yeah.
You hear it, you'll be like, "Oh my god,
thrown
that!"
off a cliff or something. You hear the guy go,
Someone falls off a wagon. Someone falls off a thing. Someone falls off of that. Someone gets punched,
It's
kicked.
a very famous audio bite that they just snake for and it's like in a ton, like hundreds and hundreds of like credits that one soundbite. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I looked it up years ago, and then so I was like, all right, shit, I'm making a game, and I had to do, I needed the guy in the background screaming like, fuck it.
Let's throw it in there.
You're like, this has got to be out of copyright. We're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I did catch it when I rewatched it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's there. I knew it would be there.
Yep.
Yep. One guy gets it's in the scene where Barf, when they're on the ship after they crawl through the ear of the big giant ship, and Barf takes the a bunch of tubes, and the guys shoot right through the tubes back at them. Yeah. When tubes. Yeah, when one of them gets shot with it, they fly back and they scream. They do the yell.
What is it? What is it called?
The Google actually says it comes from 1951. Distant drums.
Oh wow. Well, it's been used.
So that's how long that's been around.
Is that a Western? I want to say it's.
My guess is that yes. I will confess. It is a Gary Cooper. It's a Gary Cooper Florida Western film. Now, the hell is a Florida Western, guys? Like, someone's going to need to flesh that out for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Florida Western, is that any? I mean, is that different than a spaghetti Western?
I mean, in that spaghetti Western was filmed in Italy, I would say so.
Let's see if we can hear it. Let's see if we can hear the scream. Hold on. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can try to play it. Hold on. I know I can make this happen, but
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, you keep playing it over and over again. I can hear it.
One more time.
For kicks.
Yeah, there it is.
That's it.
Marie, did you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure we can all hear it. All right, cool. So
No, we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
But I'm still hung up on this Florida Western. Like, I want to know what this is.
The panhandle, like the little skinny part.
Like, no. The Panhandle is also one of those places that we don't. I mean, that's the dark heart of Florida right there.
The lawless swamp of Florida.
I say
this as somebody who lived there, so yes.
There's the Florida, not as dark. Very bright and sunny.
Disney.
Lawless swamp. That's what my wife and I call it.
Lawless swamp. Well, that's it. That's Florida.
It's not a lawless swamp. It's literally the mouse's swamp because, you know.
I would say with the crack-addled mouse over there.
Meth mouse.
Again, Disney, please do not come after us. We have nothing.
For my own safety, it's a joke.
Right.
Mila's views do not actually represent entertainmentrants.com.
Yes.
Right. Like, zombie Bob Eisner is going to come get us.
This is a joke.
Mila's views aren't actually views.
Unknown caller.
Yeah! You're checking in on
Turn that shit off. Because I'm not hearing it, which is
I heard that. That's his ringtone.
That's my ringtone. So, like, Bill Burr.
Yeah.
So on his podcast, when he does the Monday morning and then the Thursday morning podcast. So the Thursday is it's just like he's just checking in. He does the Monday morning, it's an hour. Okay. The Thursday is like a half hour. He just checks in on you. So like every episode, he's like, "Hey, just checking in on you." So I compile like all of them together, like ringtone out of it.
Just checking in
on you.
That scared the shit out of me.
It's weird that I can't hear it.
Yeah,
that's why
we can.
But you
Everyone
guys
else
You can definitely hear it, my dad. Definitely.
We're all plugged into the same thing. I can hear all of you.
Like, I heard a tiny voice in the other room going, "Checking in."
Just checking in on you. That's really strange. That's why I didn't know it was doing it, because y'all look at me like, what the fuck's happening on your phone?
Everyone's also like, what?
Like, no, get that under control.
And then I saw your phone was ringing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but
and then I was like, oh, you can't hear it.
It's really strange that you guys can hear what I can't hear on the phone. It's my phone. I can't hear shit. We're all listening to the same stuff on the mics. That's strange. All right,
I think
moving on.
To prevent mics are linked to a specific set of headphones.
What?
The mics are linked to a specific set of headphones on the mixer.
I guess. So it's just going into the Bluetooth that's on the mixer. Glad we had time to figure this out.
Wait.
Apparently not.
Yeah, moving forward.
Moving beyond. Turns out Florida Western is an actual thing. Like, it's an actual designation. Like, that's bizarre.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, like, we'll fit in the Second Seminole War. Okay, that's specific.
Yes, we have to expand the sound effects bank. I know.
We've used like 3 of them.
Just started using this.
It's new.
It's still new. It's still new and pretty. All right, let's get back to it. Yes?
Sure. So, Spaceballs.
What a movie. Great movie.
Out of 5 mics.
We're on the mics already? We're on the mic rating already?
Wow.
Come on.
He's like, I'm done with y'all. Move on.
I mean, it's a legit funny movie at the end of the day, right? And like we've talked about a lot. We could sit here and just basically regurgitate the entire movie, but
all right, let's do it.
Made me chuckle. Five mics. Made me laugh many times.
I'd
5
have to give it
mics.
5 mics too. We'll go for the rating. That's fine.
If it makes me laugh and it's a comedy movie, five mics.
It hit on every note.
Yeah, it nailed it every single time.
I mean, and I think that's kind of part of the podcast that almost kind of makes it a little difficult, because it's like you can't talk shit about the movie. You truly can't. Like, there's no.
It's like, how do you like once you've walked away from the movie and had time? What's your rating on it?
I don't know. Like,
I'm
Princess
an
Vespa,
unpopular
like,
opinion
Zuniga,
here.
like, I don't know. She just.
Yeah.
To me, she's the weakest part. She's the weakest in the cast.
There's a few weak points, right? Valium is kind of weak.
Yeah,
Princess
but
Vespa,
for 2 seconds. But we get Princess Vespa.
Princess Vespa was a little bit weak.
I agree. Vespa was weak.
Regurgitated joke.
The character
But
isn't necessarily weak, even though it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't know that Daphne Zuniga was the best choice.
Yeah.
For that.
I don't think
And that was kind of a weird choice, especially like with everybody else had kind of like a legitimate career floating into it, but not so much her.
Moranis, absolutely. Even Bill Pullman, third choice Bill Pullman.
No, well, he was almost a nobody at the time. So
he wasn't.
So they pulled a bunch of big
Bill
names.
Pullman, the Christopher Reeve from Wish.
Yeah.
You can backfill with not so big names when you have the big ones already. So that's
sure. I agree, but it's
is Vespa really a backfill role though?
Right, she's one of the main characters. She's like,
no, but neither is Han Solo's character. He's not really a backfill role, but they did. And
what had he had done? Wow, that was really not anything.
He did nothing. Like he was a carpenter.
That's right.
He was a carpenter, and basically he told on up.
Pullman hadn't really done much.
Like, what's his credits prior to this movie?
I don't know.
This is also like the Danny Trejo phenomenon.
I think he's a relative.
Oh my gosh.
Which we haven't seen again in Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, he's just like
he's just hanging out.
Yeah, he's disappeared.
I know, but I know. Damn it!
I like Danny Trejo. I wish he was in it more.
Yeah, I was psyched when I saw him in the show.
I was like, no way, awesome. They got Danny Trejo in the movie in the show.
He used it for 5 seconds,
and he was gone, and I was
nothing.
like, oh, Danny Trejo's gone.
And okay, so let's. I know we're breaking rank here. We're going back to Boba Fett, but like, are we really gonna see? For no reason, we're gonna see Boba Fett like fucking riding the Rancor in Episode 7. Is that going to be the big thing? He's riding into the war on the Rancor.
I mean, that's what we'd love to see, right?
Yeah, but do we go through that whole thing of him saying, "I want to ride this thing," and then he just rides it with no training? Or how the fuck did you all of a sudden know how to ride this thing?
See, you could have had two.
I'm really sitting here waiting for a downside, Marco. You're putting Boba Fett on the back of a Rancor, and I am here for that.
That'd be awesome, but where was the learning curve? Is that what you were doing? You weren't on screen
in Star Wars.
You want to see that?
Yes.
I want to see a little bit of him trying to ride and falling off.
Given how much Larry hates flashbacks and
slow moving
stories,
I want to see a little training, and I want to see a little training
montage
where the Rancor's chasing him.
It's a training montage.
Now look, full disclosure.
It's a racing training montage.
Full disclosure. It's not that I don't like flashbacks, but in a 7-episode fucking season, don't give me 4 episodes of flashbacks.
You should have called it the book of Boba Fett's flashbacks.
I gotta tell you, I'm across the country and I felt that wave of rage.
There's a lot. Oh yeah.
It's really chilly here, so if maybe you could keep doing that. I might actually get feeling back in my fingers.
I mean, that's always been my thing. And everyone's like, "Oh, you don't like character development?" No, it's not that I don't like character development. Again,
4 out of 7.
4 out of 7 episodes is character development and flashback and how he's running around in the desert. Kiss my ass.
I gotta tell you, you are not making me want to see this.
I feel like every time this topic comes up, Larry gets a little more heated every single time.
I want to see a training montage of a chase.
Training montage.
That's like the whole, and it takes up the entire last episode. It takes up the whole last episode.
At this point, it would have to be, even if it's just a few days worth, it's still a flashback. We're about to hit into the war, and or this mild skirmish that they're about to do.
That happens. You better not have me in this dojo on Thursday.
I want to see him riding the back of that Rancor with no excuse as to how he learned how to do that.
Okay, if you want more riding Boba Fett, then you should listen to the Boba Fett article.
Yes,
Boba Fett
yes. As much as we'd love to get.
Why you don't see Boba Fett in Boba Fett?
Yeah,
so
that's what we're talking about here. He's getting more play on this episode of this podcast than he did in his whole damn show.
It's depressing.
It really is. It really is. All right. Finally,
this is the thing with the Star Wars film, the Star Wars shows, though. It's kind of like the Marvel ones. Some of them are really good, and then some of them are phoned in, and you're just kind of like, where?
Yeah, we'll get to
directors. Yeah.
We'll get to Eternals in a little later.
Yep.
And that was definitely phoned in.
Oh yeah.
It was 2.5 hours of phoned in.
Mm-hmm.
So unpopular opinion. I thought Spaceballs was funny when I was a kid, and I think it's okay now. Looking back, I think it's funnier probably than it is because I remember how funny it was when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
So looking
stuff
back,
always hits different when you grow.
It's nostalgic. You're like, oh, this is so funny. I remember all these jokes. I'm old enough to get all the references.
Your humor has gotten sophisticated.
Well, you've grown up, right? You've become an adult. You've developed. It's a different world right now. Half of those jokes wouldn't hit the same way.
Right. You're no longer married with children.
I feel like I need to extend my condolences that you've become sophisticated. It's so.
It's not worth it. Let me tell you.
Still after farts, I think it was a funny movie.
It's definitely a farce. It's definitait
don't get me wrong. It's still funny. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't give it. I was at 15. I would have given it a 5.
Talk about a bait and switch growing up. What a bait and switch that shit was.
That's BS, right?
That was horrible.
I think at 15, I would have given it 5. Now I'll probably give it 3.5.
I'm still at the 4.5 to 5. I'm gonna say 4.5.
I'm at a 5.
I'm at a 4.5 only
many
because of the Daphne Segni. I don't really care for her. I don't really care for her.
But you know what though, I see what you're saying. So like, I just looked up, like she did nothing prior to Spaceballs.
Wooden. She was wooden to me.
But here's the thing though.
What'd she do after?
But that works great in this movie.
Yeah, for me, the reason why
I don't know. Not
for me, the reason why it's a 5 is because, well, first of all, my standards for like comedy movies are usually really high because I'm like, look, there was like a couple good jokes, but that's it. But this one, I was like, I feel like the aim of it was to be a funny movie, and I felt like personally, I just found the whole thing hilarious. Yeah, the princess, what's her face, wasn't. I thought she wasn't all that interesting. But the thing is, when she was playing off of other people, like them, like pulling on her leg,
her funny.
Was good.
She was not funny on her own.
Yeah, but the fact that they
were a good straight man, really.
In the first place,
I don't think she was written to be funny.
Yeah,
like most of the things she does isn't funny. Like she's got all this luggage. It's not funny. Yeah. It's funny in the reaction to it.
Yeah,
right.
She's supposed to be annoying.
She's exasperated.
She's
so that's
the whole point of the Jewish princess.
And they kept her an annoying character.
Hold on, not everybody can talk at once. Marie.
Well, that's the whole point of her being the Druish princess, right? Like, because he's riffing off of this stereotype and playing with it. So she doesn't get to be funny; she gets to be annoying. Like that's the point.
Right. And I think that they could have thrown anybody in that role.
Just done the annoying.
Yeah. It's I look at it as the
but
be the nuisance. Go.
Like that movie wasn't like expertly written. It wasn't. Well, the comedy was funny, but like
still
you don't
like
need
she could have been better,
acting.
even as the
No, that's I don't. You didn't need a high actor. You could have thrown anybody in that role, and you would have gotten that same.
Yeah, but I feel like there's other people who play.
I don't know. I don't know that you would have gotten that same sort of sense because I think there are people that were available at the time that could have done that a little bit better and would have had a better grasp of
her character, who was annoying, could have been played funny. Like somebody who knew what they were better at it, could still make you laugh.
I don't know. I feel like
annoying character.
I feel like once you're deemed the annoying character, there's not really.
And she was meant to be, but
it
wasn't funny. And the whole movie's based on comedy. Like you still have to have the funny.
Let me just distinguish. Are you saying that the jokes they made about her character in the movie were not funny?
No, those are funny.
Okay.
No, that's not. No, her acting is very wooden. She's very one-dimensional. Even though she's even her.
You can't
even
say
her
Bill
ability
Pullman's
to play
acting was fantastic. He was super.
I don't think anyone has ever gone into anything and said Bill Pullman's performance was stellar.
Well, that's my point, right? That's my point. Like you don't like.
I mean, again,
I'm an actor. I'm not an actor. I could have acted Bill Pullman's role and been.
I mean, he's right there with Steven Seagal, right? Like things you're never going to hear, and the Oscar goes to.
Poor Bill Pullman.
But that's my point. Like I'm not worried about her acting and how wooden it was because this movie was not about that acting.
Yeah, I was focused on, is it making me laugh? And I was like, yes. All right, it's a funny movie.
Going back to it, I mean, credit where credit is due. I think Bill Pullman understands the humor. I think he understands what's necessary, what he needs to do in order to support the humor. And I think I'm not entirely persuaded that she does. To me, I don't think it doesn't mar the watch enough for me to take even a half mic away, as it were.
She's not getting the half.
Because I think that's fine. And I think there's enough going on in the rest of the film that it's like, there's enough there to make my cheeks ache, like after watching this film, that it's fine. But I can see the source of Marco's frustration with that particular performance.
Yeah.
But again, I mean,
but we know I'm overly nitpicky. Like that's
well,
okay.
For me, it's like
I own that.
It's like trying to. I don't know if I was talking during the podcast or before, but like the Godzilla movies, right? So it's like there are critics.
Godzilla as a reference.
Okay, wait. When you say the Godzilla movies, I'm gonna need to know. Do you mean like the Toho movies, or do you mean the American ones?
Huh?
Which ones do you mean?
Like I'm talking. Well, I feel like the Japanese ones were like phenomenal, but it's like when critics like tried to like put down a Godzilla movie with just like basically no plot and just like Godzilla doing his thing. They were like, no, it's plot development. And I was like, shut up. I saw Godzilla.
I'm literally here to watch the giant lizard with the ray.
Lasers. I thought it was great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm not here for I understand that.
And they understood that about the movie. It was like, look, people aren't here to see plot.
No,
they're here to see.
But the American ones did. The American ones legitimately tried to add plot, and it was just
they tried, and it was
easy
awful.
enough to ignore it.
And that's why they've tried to do like 4 of them or something, because it doesn't.
But the reality, they weren't great, but I still enjoyed them. Even though that last one, you saw Mechagodzilla coming a mile away. Like you saw all that. I don't think I've seen
any of them.
You saw that a mile away, and that's fine because at the end of the day, it's a popcorn movie. Who cares?
Right.
These giant creatures beating the shit out of each
so
other.
it's like, sure, the
waste everything
plot
that's in
was
their path.
okay and
that's
forgettable.
Day done. Pencils down. Day done. That's the movie.
Like seriously, like, I do not need you to try to romanticize King Kong. Like, please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop. Also, I don't care about your adopted daughter. Again, I want to see the giant lizard.
Yeah. Give me giant lizards, big lasers, radioactive, smashy, buildings destroyed. That's it. That's all I ask for.
I need you to just tear through Tokyo or Seoul or whatever. Like, this is what I'm looking for. Please stop trying to make it complicated and deep.
And especially the giant Godzilla bellow, I'm like, I want that.
Yeah.
Have you read how they make that? It's fascinating. Like how many different sound bites they roll into it.
Oh my god, yeah.
I've part of like an old
seen some stuff.
Fence.
Yeah, some of it.
Yeah. A bunch of stuff
Y'all are gonna have to excuse my Kirkland.
A lot of those like, monster screams are either taken from like crocodile or other animals in the wild, but then they modify sound wise. So they speed them up, slow them down, deepen them, and add all sorts of cool stuff to it. It's really neat to
it's pretty cool.
Look into.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Spaceballs, we're good.
Great movie.
We got it done. Great movie.
Funny movie.
If you haven't seen it, go. You make sure you get it somewhere.
If you haven't seen it, why are you listening to this podcast? Like, this is not for you.
No, you should have stopped at the beginning. Or at least, whenever we got back to it. We got back to talking about actual Spaceballs. So, all right, I want to thank everybody for being on the show today. We'll start reversing out there. Quinn, thank you.
Welcome.
Bruno. Yep. Larry.
Yes.
Mila.
Anytime.
And Marie. Marie's from Trekker's Delight, so make sure you look for her podcast as well. I've listened to a few. I love it. It's really fun. And whenever
I love being able to drop like Jumpin' Jack Flash.
That's pretty much what it is. Like Marie, that's what I do now with Marie. Whenever I find her, like she's on another podcast or on the MCU Bleeding Edge, I just go on like comments and just try to make her laugh.
And I cannot.
What's going on?
I cannot. I can't. Like I can't even have like the regular conversation with everybody. And it's like I'm talking to Mark.
I blame you. You look at the comments, and there I am, fucking around with Jumpin' Jack Flash references and shit, just to see if I can throw you off the game.
Oh my god! Like Jermaine is like, who is this guy? That is the greatest movie, and I'm like, that's Marco. That's Marco. You're gonna meet him. Like, calm down.
Jumpin' Jack Flash was an awesome movie.
It's one of the great. We have to do that movie at some point. Marie, obviously, you have to be on that episode.
I mean, clearly, but I am angling for Galaxy Quest. Mila, you've got to see this movie.
I will see it. I will see it.
I'll write
Pinky swear.
I'll write those both down. So yeah,
socially distance pinky swear, I guess. But
yeah, definitely. And Jumpin' Jack Flash for me is one of those movies where like it was a sleepy movie for me. Like when I go to sleep, I can put that movie on. I know it inside and out, backwards and forwards.
I haven't
so
seen
I
it
can
in
just
years.
Play it in the background, and I can fall asleep because my brain doesn't have to listen to it because my brain's already quoting it as it's going. Right? Like that's one of those movies. That and like Noises Off. You ever seen Noises Off?
No.
You ever see that one?
I need you to get out of my brain, like I do.
There he is.
Sometimes this is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's right, Selzen. Good job. Am I putting him on or is he putting me on? I think you can hear better than I can. That's great. We'll go over that one another day. We'll have to do Noises Up, but I'll have to bring Amy in on that one because that's one of her favorite movies. So, all right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Don't forget to find us at entertainmentrants.com. Send us an email at engageentertainmentrants.com. Send us a note on what you'd like us to rant about. We will try our best to stay on the subject if we can, but no promises.
That's a lie. Don't believe him.
It's a flat out lie. And definitely check us out on our social media, Entertainment Rant. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and keep ranting. # Let's Rant.